After some 6 weeks on the road, a strange thing had begun to manifest where I was experiencing great difficulties in remembering the name of the town I'd left each morning. I chatted about this with a Finnish guy whom I'd met at the Pilgrim Alberg in Ardua on the penultimate day of the Camino. With a smile on his face, he said it was in fact a fairly common phenomenon amongst pilgrims who'd been on the road for a long time. It was a state of mind where the experiences of the days travelled seemed to meld together into a single massive nondescript porridge. It was then that I understood the importance of maintaining a daily diary. But one thing I didn't need to keep a diary for was to count the number of negative encounters I'd experienced throughout this adventure, and there were just 4 of them. What surprised me, at least initially, was that 3 of them actually occurred during this Camino leg with other pilgrims, with the most notable involving a person I first saw begging outside a supermarket in the town of Sahagun. As fortune would have it, he ended up staying at the same pilgrim hostel where I was at, and actually in the bunk bed adjacent to mine. It was his attitude that surprised me greatly when, on 3 separate occasions, and rather arrogantly, he refused some food and other supplies I'd offered him. After first seeing him beg and then having him turn down my help, I felt like I had to say something, which went something like, "If you're in the habit of seeking charity, then maybe it's not such a smart idea to then refuse it when it's actually given." Buen Camino. Good evening, guys. I'm in a place called Belorado, just at the end of the day's ride. Got here about probably 45 minutes ago. Really nice hostel, and I've just been into the shops. See, all my stuff there. That includes a bottle of wine and beer as well. There's a shop that I went to over there. There's a church. This is the town square. Just do a bit of a circuit like that. Yeah, anyway, it's a really nice little town. The temperature's dropping really quickly, but I had a really good ride today. Well, it ended up being really good, although my legs were totally shot this morning. But I think my lunch of a potato tortilla and what else did I have? A cheese and ham sandwich and a donut and a couple of coffees and some kind of pastry with chocolate in it. That certainly did the trick. So yeah, it ended up being a really, really good day, and I'm just looking forward to getting to the hostel now and having a really nice meal. It's just going to be pasta with some tuna using the hostel kitchen. There's a few people there, so actually some of the hostels I haven't really seen too many people, but this one's got a fair few in it, so maybe I'll have some interesting conversations as well. Alright, well there you go. So another day down, and I'm getting close to my destination in Viana. Alright, check you later. Bye. I can easily say that over 99% of my journey had been filled with nothing other than positive experiences, from the people I'd met with their friendliness, care and hospitality, to all the amazing places I'd had the privilege to see. But I was still trying to get my head around why the majority of those very few negative encounters had occurred with pilgrims, but then it started to make perfect sense. What kind of person embarks on a Camino? Is it someone who has their shit together and is living a life that's fully balanced and satisfying? Probably not. Pilgrims, by definition, are seekers. They're people who are looking for answers, and a Camino is, in effect, a kind of walking therapy that can facilitate their discovery. And I too was a pilgrim looking for answers. But to what problem? Maybe mine was related to having always been very strict, too black and white in my views, and not just towards others, but probably mostly towards myself. But why? Perhaps I followed this approach in an attempt to consider myself worthy enough. But of what? I guess that still remains to be seen, but incorporating the Camino Frances as a kind of additional spiritual journey within a journey certainly helped to reveal a better direction for me to take in my search for greater balance and happiness, as well as how to better connect and engage with others. As my Camino pilgrimage came to an end, all that lay ahead was the relatively short spin down the coast to my final destination of Viana do Castelo. Knowing that this adventure would soon be over, my hope was that the guy who arrives in Portugal will be an even slightly wiser version of the one that left Finland some 4,000 kilometers ago.